Hi everyone, I'm Grahtles and welcome to a new episode of the Time-Saving Guide for Noobs. So last episode we did some bus routes and they were pretty efficient. I think they're working out well. Today's episode, I had showed you in episode 3 how to kind of start your city and basically leave enough room for you to expand later on and change your roads into highways if you want to. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how we're going to take this and turn it into a highway going through. I did open up the area down below so we can bring this through, and let's continue. Alright, so I went ahead, I removed all the trees and I smoothed out the terrain just a little bit. So we have this highway now raised, and we're going to go ahead and just go into the highways, and we're going to go into intersections, and we're going to grab this large roundabout. Now let's just kind of situate this. Let's come this way because we can actually see a little bit better. And let's situate this kind of in the middle here. So I think that looks pretty well lined up. And I'm going to click that. So I used one of the roads coming off as a guide to line it up perfectly straight. And next we're going to go ahead and embrace this. So I'm just going to go into rural roads right here and keep it straight and just brace this across. Next I'm going to go ahead and delete each of these roads. So you should end up with something like this. Next, we're going to go back into highways. And let's bring these highways forward. So we're going to stop right before we get to the roundabout here. Come over. Keep going. Keep going. Come right up to the edge. And go past. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So now we have our highway over our roundabout, which is absolutely perfectly lined up using those roads. And now we can continue running our highway down. Alright, so next I want to run this highway straight across here. There's never going to be any boats or ships coming through here. So what I'm going to do is show you a little trick that I use to kind of get this perfectly straight across this river. Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to go into your landscaping tools. Now, I do have some small mods on here, but you'll be able to do this on vanilla or with mods. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You're just going to take your brush. You're going to use the level terrain tool. Click here and make sure this is all level to the highway. Next, you're going to bring this across. Just like this. Now this may cost you quite a bit of money. Again, with the mods on, it doesn't cost me anything, but normally it would. Alright, so now that you've got a nice smooth surface to work with, let's go ahead and delete these electrical lines here. Let's run the game for just a second, not too long. We just want that to go through. Yes, it's going to wreak havoc a little bit in our city, but once that water gets through, we'll be fine. There we go. I'm going to go back into our highway roads, and I'm just going to take this and bring it straight across. I'm going to go back on this side and take that straight across. And now we should have a perfect highway going across. So you're like, what do we do with this? Okay, no big deal. I'm going to go back into that terrain tool, back into the level terrain. I'm going to turn this brush size just enough for the width of this riverbed, and maybe a little bit smaller. So we're going to grab the height down in here. We're just going to push this through. Now I'm just going to take this soften terrain tool. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit, and I'm just going to hit the edges here just to smooth this out just a little bit better. And that should work, but I think I want this a little bit wider. There we go. Alright, let's run the game just a little bit just to get that water going through. I know everybody's not going to be happy. They don't have electric. The bus lines are disconnected. Everything's a mess. But yeah, we got that water going through now and everything seems fine. Let's pause the game again. I'm going to take this smooth or soften tool and just bring it over to here and just smooth this out. There we go. Alright, so next we're going to go back into the highway tools. I'm going to bring this about 20 and click. Then I'm going to bring it 12 and bring it down. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to go 12, pop it up, and bring it in. Next, I'm just going to take this highway now. I'm going to go and put on my curve tool. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, and just curve it over this way. This way it'll bring our highway down and into here, and if we want to open up more squares, we have many options. Alright, to do the other side, you would simply go next to this one, come down, and try to figure out where that lines up just a little bit. Click it, and then bring it to it. Now that's a little wide, so I don't really like the look of that. You could try to come from this side, and as soon as it gets to about this point here, click it, and bring it around. Now that's a little tighter than it is. Or, I learned from Shukaboa, let's go into gravel roads and turn it on straight road and just see how much that cost. That's 80. So if we come out here, 80, take it down by 2 nodes, go 80, take it down by 2 nodes, 80, and again. Now that we've done that, we could turn on our curve tool. We can come from this point here and just go to the center node and turn it. Go to the center node and turn it. And then we'll do it one more time. Center node, turn it, and then halfway connect. So that should give us a pretty nice curve. Alright, so now let's grab our highways. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the highway we had, and I'm just going to start from there, go halfway, and turn. So now I'm going to upgrade all of these. Now this one seems a little tight. I'm going to delete this right here. And that one does not line up properly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to delete that back. We're going to go from this one. We're going to go halfway and turn. And now you have a perfect curve. So don't forget to upgrade these to the right direction. And there you go. So let's delete the braces in the middle. And now we have a perfectly lined up highway. Next, I'm just going to go back to the highways. I'm going to go to straight, and I'm just going to cap that off just for my own purposes. They can't really do anything or go anywhere, but it makes me happier. Alright, so the next thing we have to do is connect this roundabout to the highway and the roundabout to the roads connecting here. So let's go in and start with our ramps. We're going to go into highways, go into ramps, and let's come down to the elevated part down here. Let's come next to this, so we'll look at a node here, and we'll just make a little marker. We're going to do the same on this side. Like that. Let's come down on this side, and we'll do the same thing, but not elevated. Alright, there we go. Next, let's attach one of these to the highway. So let's see how even we are here. So we are pretty even. Let's come down by 1 and then bring it in. Now you don't want this too far out or a bulge out, so just come in around a, what is that, 179? That looks pretty good. And we're going to come down by 1. And there we go, right there. As soon as it turns that blue color and allows you to place it, that's when you want to drop it in. Over on this side, we're going to have to drop these down. So let's come by 12 and drop it down. Let's come on this side, come over, drop it down. Now that matches perfectly with that side. And there we go. Let's come on this side. We don't have to do any dropping down. Let's come over to this side and hook it to the highway. Now this is not the same node as this. So we're going to cut this back. I'm going to take this, make sure it lines up with that node. Come there. And then bring it in. So now before we connect this to the roundabout, let's make sure our directions are in the right direction. So make sure you use your upgrade tool and click. Alright, so everybody's going in the right direction. Let's go ahead and hook this up to the roundabout. So this is going to be a really sharp turn. So you can either go back, delete this, go back to your highway ramp, go to your curve, and just turn it ever so slightly into there. But no matter what you do, it kind of wants to pop over there. But you can make it a little bit smoother like that. It's completely personal preference, what you're comfortable with. If you have Move It, you could move this node, but that's basically a vanilla setup. There's nothing much you can do. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do the same on this side. And then I'm going to turn the direction. So you'll get something like that. It's a little bit wonky, but it's not too bad. Let's go back to the other side. Let's go to our straight. Let's try this. Let's delete this little piece. Let's come with our curve. We're going to come to there and then bring it into there. That's pretty close. Let's do the same on this side. There we go. And upgrade this. Alright, so now our roundabout is connected to the highway. All we have to do now is connect these roads off into whatever direction we want to go in. So I think we're going to look at the terrain here. This is a pretty high terrain. As you can see here, let's see if we can smooth this out a little bit more. So now looking at the terrain, I want this to look pretty good. Now, again, if you're new and you're really not sure how you want to approach this, you can simply just take a road, go into here, and just connect it. That's completely fine. Or you can try to come up with a better way to do it. Now, I know these guys, the roundabouts, do not like straight roads off of these. They prefer to have a arrow in and an arrow out. So let's go ahead and look at the terrain one more time. So it's low here and then gets high here. So I'm thinking I want to start this here and just slowly kind of curve in. So let's take a look. I'm going to get my curve tool. I'm going to go possibly to the middle here. And I'm just going to curve this. And now we can see how steep this hill is. It's pretty steep, but I think it's actually doable. I don't think it's that bad. Let's come back down into here. And because now we have this roundabout set up, we're going to want to take our ramp and just kind of incorporate this in. So let's go to this arrow here. Let's take it off to here and connect it there. And that's kind of a smooth way to get off. And then we're just going to connect this one down in there. And this way they can easily go into the roundabout. If this was connected straight on, they have to make a sharp turn to come in. So that makes it a little bit easier for them to come in and out without a problem. All right, let's turn over to this side. I think what we're going to do is grab our industrial medium road. I'm going to come from about here. Let's go straight. Just bring it right to there. Let's go grab our highway roads. Let's go to the arrow here, bring it in and bring it out. So that should get them on and off the roundabout quite easy. Last thing we're going to do right now is just delete the braces. Now be careful not to delete your highway. Alright, so we have a nice, easy, clean setup. And we have to run our roads, our electric, before we can turn this on. So let me go into our electric. Now we know this water pump is not hooked up. Let's go down here. This is still connected. These guys are all connected. This does not have a road. And I think we're going to bring that road into here and connect this road up as well. And we may move our bus depot over just a little bit. All right, so I'm pretty confident everything is hooked up. The only thing that's going to be messed up is our bus line. So now the bus line automatically corrected itself, but we may want to go back and just see if there's a better route for that to take. But for now, let's just run it and see how the traffic goes on our roundabout. Now, as you can see, we're getting a lot of traffic right in here. I'm going to go ahead into our traffic routes, our junctions, go down and turn off this traffic light. I'm going to let them pretty much go. In a vanilla game without traffic manager, when you have traffic lights on, they can definitely cause a lot of problems with traffic. So let's go into our transportation and our bus routes. And let's just remove this stop here a second. And let's pause the game. We'll pause it because we don't want everybody getting angry. All right, let's come down here. We're going to remove this one as well. And instead of it coming down into here and turning around, why don't we make them a turnaround right in here and maybe give them some kind of, we don't have access to colleges yet, but I think we have a trade school. So let's go into roads. Let's just go into the regular 2-lane. Let's bring this in about there. And then let's just make a one-way road. In here like this. Next, let's go back to our bus routes. And we're going to drag this line into here like that. So now we have a stop where our new trade school will be. Let's go into education. So go down, and here is our Institute of Creative Arts, and let's just put that in. So we made some people happy. Let's come over here and rerun our industry bus route. So let's go into buses again, routes, and let's see where we are. So we're going to take this and pull it down, maybe do a stop here, and another one over here. Alright, so let's see how this runs. So I'm going to leave this episode off here, and this was just a simple way to show you guys, if you just started the game, how you can make something that's already in the game as your highway exit. And it's quite efficient. It works well, and I hope you like my content. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, do all those good things, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.